class we'll focus on the covalency concept, class 11. And if you remember, in the ionic bonds also we have discussed about electrovalency. Now here we'll go for the covalencies. Now suppose if I take about the different examples. For example, I took CH4. If you remember the CH4 formation, then we have made it in this manner. So how many covalent bonds we have made? The covalent bonds we have made about 4. Just see 1 2 3 4. So similarly the covalency of this thing will be of carbon. If you talk about carbon, we'll discuss on all the parts. Carbon, basically how many covalent bonds it's forming? It is forming 4 single carbon atom. So covalency of carbon will be how much? 4. Right, you are getting my point. So this way, suppose I took hydrogen is forming the bond in this manner, sorry, this thing. So how many covalent bonds are there? 1 covalent bond. So what is the covalency of hydrogen atom over here? So hydrogen's covalency will be 1. Oxygen, if you talk about, oxygen is here, so covalency of oxygen is 2. If you talk about N2 is in this manner. So 1 2 3 bonds has been there. So covalency of nitrogen atom will be 3. So this way we focus on the covalencies. Now we'll focus on the covalency definition. You can see the covalency of an element in a covalent compound is equal to the number of covalent bonds formed by its one atom with other atoms of the same elements or different elements. So that we have discussed in the examples. Now we'll focus on the variable valency, as we have seen earlier also, that certain these particular elements which we have discussed were showing the same means one valency, but there were certain atoms which were showing more than one valency. So that arise a concept that was variable valency. Now why this happens? The elements are showing the covalency is different. So it's basically the covalency, you have to make a point that covalency of a particular atom or the number of covalencies, it's basically always depends on the number of unpaired electrons present in the valence shell. So that is also an important concept of covalency that you want to calculate. It's depend on the unpaired electrons, and because the problem arises now, there are certain elements which have half filled orbitals were present. In some cases completely filled orbitals were present in. So and certain elements also possess क्या होता है आपका वेकेंट ऑर्बिटल्स भी होते हैं उनके पास. सो देयर वर डिफरेंट वेकेंट ऑर्बिटल्स इन देयर वैलेंस शेल. सो द पॉइंट इज दैट ना कि देयर आर डिफरेंट ways of seeing the covalencies, and that's why we have different case of variable valencies are there. Because you can what happen ना, एक एटम है, वो एटम जो है हमेशा 2 स्टेट पे जाता है. द एटम गोज फॉर 2 स्टेट. वन इज़ द ग्राउंड स्टेट जो ओरिजिनल स्टेट उसकी होती है, अभी हम डिस्कस करेंगे, एंड द अदर स्टेट इज़ द एक्साइटेड स्टेट. मे बी पॉसिबल उसने एक्सटर्नल एनर्जी लेके वो एक्साइटेड हो गया है एटम, तो क्या हुआ, उसने अपने इलेक्ट्रॉन या तो बाहर निकाल दिए हैं, या फिर उसने क्या करा है, अपने दूसरे वेकेंट. अब जैसे हमने देखा ना, हमारे पास एक पर्टिकुलर एटम है, उसमें कई कैटेगरीज है भाई. हम कोवैलेंसी को हम जज करते हैं नंबर ऑफ अनपेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन से इन द बैलेंस. बट कभी कभी हमारे पास हाफ फिल्ड ऑर्बिटल्स होते हैं, कंप्लीटली फिल्ड ऑर्बिटल्स भी मौजूद हैं, वेकेंट ऑर्बिटल्स भी प्रेजेंट है हमारे पास. तो उससे क्या हो जाता है कि आपकी कोवैलेंसी चेंज होती रहती है. और एटम की तो हमने 2 स्टेट देख ही ली है. जो ग्राउंड स्टेट होती है नॉर्मल, जो आप इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉन्फ़िगरेशन नॉर्मली लिखते हैं पर्टिकुलर एटम का, तो दैट कम्स इन ग्राउंड स्टेट. एक्साइटेड स्टेट मीन्स फ्रॉम द एक्सटर्नल एनर्जीज, और कोई एनर्जी उसको बाहर से मिल गई, वो एक्साइटेड स्टेट पे आ जाता है, एक्साइटेशन में चले जाते हैं. तो उस कंडीशन पे देयर आर ग्रेटर प्रोबेबिलिटी ऑफ शेयरिंग द अनपेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन्स विद दोज ऑफ अदर एटम्स टेक्स प्लेस. सो दैट इज, एंड दिस गिव यू राइज टू मैनी और मोर देन वन कोवैलेंसीज फॉर अ पर्टिकुलर यू कैन से एटम्स, है ना. तो वो चीज़ हो जाती है, दैट गिव्स अ फिनोमेना, एंड दैट इज नोन एज वेरिएबल वैलेंसी. आई थिंक दिस इज क्लियर टू यू. सो वी हैव अ सर्टेन एग्जाम्पल्स इन इट. लेट्स फोकस ऑन द फर्स्ट एग्जाम्पल जो हमारे कोर्स में है. वी हैव phosphorus, sulfur and chlorine. So phosphorus, if you go, that its atomic number is 15, and electronic configuration you can write down and in this way you get a electronic configuration, this thing. So if you focus on this part 3p, so this 3px1, 3py1, 3pz1 is been there. So if you are writing, just see, this is your valence electron, ये तो completely filled है, this is completely filled, no need to draw or make the electronic configuration, मतलब orbital structure for them. You make it in the ground state. You focus on the valence shells. So valence shell is this. So this is 3s2, this is completely filled. You have 3p, just focus on it. How many unpaired electrons are there in 3p3? We have 3 unpaired electrons. So that is your case of ground state, and over here you come across with the valency of phosphorus to be how much? 3. So over here the covalency of phosphorus, because how many, we have to count the unpaired electrons. So we are counting the unpaired electrons. How many unpaired electrons are there? There are three unpaired electrons over here. So over here what will be the case of covalency? Covalencies of phosphorus will be 3 over here, but it's not the case, because if you see phosphorus, after that if you focus on 3p, you come across with a vacant d orbital, that is 3d. So 3d is a vacant orbital. So what happens, we'll see to it. So this is the case of the ground part. So ground condition में आप देखते हैं ना, this we have made. So this was the case of 3px1, 3py1, 3pyz was the case. 1 electrons each were present, and unpaired electrons we have calculated in the ground state. So that is the scenario. You have after 3p you have vacant 3d orbitals. Now this particular phosphorus atom have the vacant d orbital. So what happened when you come from the excited state? So in excited state, one of the electron from 3s been excited, and it is don't move out, because phosphorus don't have the tendency to lose electrons. They are just changing their position. So in excited state, one of the electrons from 3s jumps and reaches to the 3d orbital. Now your electronic configurations look like this manner, right? You come across in this manner, and one of the electron from 3s is being shifted to 3d is been there. So now you have this scenario, 3s1 and 3p3 and 3d1 is been there. Now just count the numbers of unpaired electron, 1 2 3 4 5. You have 5 unpaired electrons. So in that particular case, the covalency of phosphorus will be 5. So we come across that in covalency of phosphorus in the ground state it was 3, but in excited state it come across 5. So we have 2 covalency, 3 and 5. ये कब आई है? It's because of the ground state condition. It come across because of the excited state. So I think this is clear to you how to calculate the covalency. Take a bigger one for that. When you are having more valencies, you have sulfur also, you have chlorine also. So I think we'll focus on the chlorine one. Sulfur आप देख लेंगे. Chlorine, I am writing down the electronic configuration. Now this is the electronic configuration, and this is your valence shell. You just focus on this thing in ground state, what happened for the case. So ground state mein you will focus on this thing 3s2, and this will be your 3p5. So just see how it is been there. Sorry, it is 5. This is 3p 5. So 1 2 3 4 5. You have only one unpaired electron. So over here the covalency will be for Cl will be, in this case in ground state it is only 1. Now chlorine go for different exciting states. So let's go for the first excited state. What happened in this scenario? So this particular chlorine also have the vacant you can say d orbitals, and because after 3p you come across what? You come across 3d. So vacant d orbitals are there for the 1 2 3 4 5 for this thing. So one of the, what happened in this case, we have different covalencies, because this give rise to a very different scenario, that one of the electrons in the first excited state is this particular electron jumped and reaches to this particular d orbital. So in this manner you come across 3s2 और फर्स्ट एक्साइटेड स्टेट में एक इलेक्ट्रॉन आपका शिफ्टेड टू d1. So over here how many your this will 3d4 it will come. Now how many vacant unpaired electrons are? 1 2 3. So we have 3 unpaired electrons. So over here the covalency of Cl will be 3 because we have 3 unpaired electrons. This way we go across with different excited state. Now in the second excited state, one of the electrons will, from this 3p was holding, na, it will reaches to the 3d. Now this is 2, this is 3. So how many unpaired electrons are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 unpaired electrons. So 5 unpaired electrons means how many covalencies? Covalency will be 5 over here. Now again the third excited state. So we come across one of the electrons once again from this thing 3s will reaches to this thing जो हमने बनाया है अभी पीछे अपना. This is 3p scenario, 3s2 scenario. You have 3d scenario. So one of the electrons will jump from here and reaches to here. So now this way, one of the electron is being jumped from here and it reaches to this 3d. So this electronic configuration look like this in the third excited state. So what you come across is that covalencies of Cl will be 1, 3, 5 and 7. Over here how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 unpaired electrons were there. So over here the covalency was 7. So how you get it? How many covalencies are there? This is the important portion that will help you out to understand how to calculate the covalency. Now your homework is you calculate the covalencies of sulfur. I am just telling you that the sulfur may you will come across the covalency about that will be 2. The 4 will be there and 6 will be there. So this way you have to calculate. I am just writing down. You will calculate how the electronic configuration will be there and how they go for excited. So that will be the this covalency will come across because of the ground state, and this will come across with the first excited state. ठीक है, and this will come with the second excited state. So you have to do it. You know the electronic configuration of sulfur, as you know atomic number is 1. Let's focus on it. 1s2, 2s2, 2p6 and 3s2 and 3p4. So over here when you focus on it, I am just telling you this thing ना कि यहाँ पे आपके पास 4 इलेक्ट्रॉन्स हैं और 2 अनपेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन्स हैं इस जगह पर, है ना. यही आपका वो है जो वैलेंस इलेक्ट्रॉन होता है और वैलेंस शेल्स में प्रेजेंट है. तो देयर आर 2 अनपेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन्स. तो इस कंडीशन से कितनी आई? 2 आ गई. अब क्या होगा? इसके पास भी 3d वेकेंट ऑर्बिटल होंगे. तो वो इसमें से इलेक्ट्रॉन्स अब जैसे एक इधर ट्रांसफ़र होगा पहले एक्साइटेड स्टेट में, तो करीबन 1, 2, 3, 4 अनपेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आ जाएंगे. तो कोवैलेंसी 4 होगी. फिर वन ऑफ द इलेक्ट्रॉन विल ट्रांसफर फ्रॉम 3s टू अगेन टू 3d. सो 1, 2, 3, 4 और 5, 6, 2 पहुँच गए होंगे. तो यू विल गेट 6 कोवैलेंसी. सो मेक इट एंड आई हैव जस्ट गिवन यू अ स्मॉल आइडिया ऑफ इट. सो कोवैलेंसी पोर्शन इज बीन completed. It's an important portion. Question comes from here. Now we come across the maximum covalency. Suppose if I give you a particular element, so you have to calculate the maximum covalency of it. So basically maximum covalency is the maximum number of covalent bond that an atom of an element can form is called the covalency. जैसे आपने अभी Cl में देखा, you have 1, 3, 5, 7. So maximum covalent bonds कहाँ बने? इस वाली जगह में. तो मैक्सिमम कोवैलेंसी कितनी होगी इसमें Cl में? दैट इज़ योर 7 नंबर, है ना. तो इसमें अब जैसे सल्फर में वी हैव सीन 2, 4, 6. तो मैक्सिमम कोवैलेंसी इज दिस. इफ़ यू कम अक्रॉस फॉस्फोरस 3 and 5. So maximum covalency is 5. So this way we can calculate the maximum covalency and no anyone can ask you because this time is not been asked, but आगे जब इंटर वगैरह में when you come across ना then this concept has been there which you have to focus. But it is an important portion and there are many things. जैसे for example अगर आपको I give you certain examples. For example I am giving you Cl. तो Cl में अगर हम आपसे पूछते हैं इसकी कोवैलेंसी इस जगह क्या है, क्योंकि यहाँ पे आप इलेक्ट्रॉनिक कॉन्फ़िगरेशन बनाएंगे तो इधर कोवैलेंसी अगर आप Cl की देखेंगे तो 1 रहेगा क्योंकि हाइड्रोजन के साथ कंबाइंड है. ठीक है. अगर आप कुछ और एग्जांपल देखते हैं ClF3, तो यहाँ पे अगर आप Cl की कोवैलेंसी देखेंगे तो यहाँ उसकी 3 होगी कोवैलेंसी. ठीक है. तो प्लीज़ मेक श्योर दैट व्हाट यू आर डूइंग एंड व्हाट यू आर नॉट डूइंग. सो दिस वे यू कैन हैव अ लुक. एंड ये थोड़ा इनडायरेक्ट क्वेश्चंस होते हैं, इस पर थोड़ा फोकस कर लीजिएगा ये कैसे आ जाते हैं. तो वो चीज़ आती है. तो दैट थिंग यू हैव टू मेक अ श्योर दैट हाउ मैनी इलेक्ट्रॉन्स आर बीन ट्रांसफर टू द d ऑर्बिटल्स ना एंड द अनपेयर्ड इलेक्ट्रॉन, उस हिसाब से यू कैन कैलकुलेट. Class 11 we will focus on the characteristics of covalent compound, and the first characteristic that we will focus, that is the physical state. If you talk about the physical state, that these covalent compounds exist in all the state of matter, means gases, liquids and solids, सब में आता है. And this is because they have the intermolecular forces. Molecule है इसके अंदर, तो they have intermolecular forces, and this intermolecular forces are weak forces. So they exist in all the three states. If you consider in gaseous form, like CO2 we have discussed, and water, it comes in liquid. I am giving you one examples. There are plenty of examples. And solids, you can see sugar is there, urea is there, glucose is there. So there are the cases. Now we come across with the melting points and even the low boiling points also. They have the low boiling points. So that is the case also. So we will focus on it, that why they have a low melting and the boiling points. Now just talk about the forces. The force over here, that is intermolecular forces, are weak forces. So to break these forces, you need less amount of energy. That's why they have low meltings and low boiling points. Now nature of the covalent solids, what is the nature? They are neither hard nor they are brittle. Exceptional cases are there, that you have to keep it in mind, but most of the time they are not hard, they are not brittle in case. Solubility, they are insoluble in water but soluble in organic compounds. अब वाटर soluble क्यों नहीं है? Because they don't contains electrostatic force of attraction, है ही नहीं इनमें, तो इसीलिए क्या हो जाता है, ना ही इसीलिए ये लोग है ना, जो वाटर का हाई डाइलेक्ट्रिक कांस्टेंट होता है उसको ये ब्रेक ही नहीं कर पाते हैं. ठीक है. ना इलेक्ट्रिकल कंडक्टिविटी, देन दे डू नॉट पोजेस चार्जेस. अब इसमें क्या है, चार्ज ही नहीं है ना, पॉजिटिव आयंस एंड नेगेटिव आयंस है, सो दे डू नॉट कंडक्ट इलेक्ट्रिसिटी. Stereoisomerism is being shown because they are rigid and directional. Molecular reaction is being there because they consist of molecules, so reaction will be molecular reactions. So the reactions are very slow in covalent compounds.